Chicago Cubs News Today.
We need a reliable left-handed bat, someone who understands what it means to play under the pressure of Wrigley Field and doesn't blink when the wind is blowing in. The name that was circulating, the reunion that many of you bleacher bums were screaming for, was Mike Tauchman. But forget it. He's headed to Queens. The Mets snatched the Paladin on a minor league deal. And you know what? It stings. Not because Tauchman is the next Sammy Sosa, but because he was a grinder. He was old school. And now, what does Jed Hoyer give us instead? Chas McCormick and Dylan Carlson. It's the classic Cubs front office move, trading a sure thing for a maybe while praying the Ricketts budget doesn't redline. Truth is, the Chicago Cubs right now look like a lab experiment that occasionally forgets baseball is one with heart, not just spreadsheets of outs above average. Tauchman, at 35, might not be that defensive wizard from 21 anymore. I get it. But he had the clutch gene. He understood the North Side. Now, he's chasing a roster spot in New York because over there, apparently, they still see value in veterans who know how to play the game the right way. Meanwhile, here in Wrigleyville, we're looking at the dugout and seeing Craig Counsell trying to solve a puzzle with pieces Jed Hoyer found in the bargain bin. McCormick? Sure, he's got 32 career OAA. He's competent. But can he handle the weight of the Cubs pinstripes when the Central Division race heats up? And Dylan Carlson? A former Cardinal. Just saying that gives me a knot in my stomach. He's a switch hitter, prefers the left side, but let's be real, he's a gamble. Another one. Fan skepticism isn't an accident. We're tired of empty promises. The front office says Matt Shaw is going to roam the outfield for the first time in 26. They're plugging a kid into a hole just so they don't have to pay for an elite veteran. It's the Ricketts budget in peak form. They look at the luxury tax like it's a monster under the bed, while our rivals move. The Brewers keep finding ways to win, and the Cardinals, as much as I hate to admit it, are always lurking. They act, they move. And us? We're sitting here waiting on visa issues for players who can't even make it to spring training on time. It's irritating. It's amateur hour. This is the voice of reason talking loud now. You don't build a champion solely on minor league depth and reclamation projects. The outlook for 26 is getting dangerous. If Seiya Suzuki goes down, or if McCormick is just a flash in the pan from his Houston days, who's holding the line? Scott Kingery? Owen Miller? Please. We're talking about the Chicago Cubs, a billion-dollar franchise that charges the highest ticket prices in the league, and they have us debating if losing Mike Tauchman was strategically acceptable. Don't get me wrong, I see the logic. Tauchman is old, the defense dipped. But baseball has a human element that this front office seems to ignore. When you have a young clubhouse, you need stability. You need guys the fans respect. And speaking of respect, let's touch that open wound. Alex Bregman, $175 million. $175 million. It's a massive contract, but it shoves Matt Shaw into a utility role, and now Shaw might be out in the grass. It's a domino effect that started with a big signing, but is leaving the rest of the roster looking like a patchwork quilt. It's like buying a Ferrari engine and putting it in a tractor frame. The verdict on passing on Tauchman and bringing in these flyer names? It's smoke. It's Jed trying to be the smartest guy in the room again. He wants to prove his pitching lab. And prospect pipeline can replace the need for a deep veteran roster. But the Central Division doesn't care about your pipeline. The Central is a knife fight in a dark room. If the plan is to pray that Matt Shaw learns the outfield in March so he can start in April, good luck to Counsell. He's going to need it, because when the W flag doesn't fly, when fly the W is just a distant dream on a cold May afternoon, the fans aren't going to blame McCormick. They're going to blame the people who sign the checks and build the roster. The pattern is repeating, eternal rebuild disguised as sustainable competitiveness. I've seen this movie before. We saw it in 1908. It took 108 years to change. After 2016, it feels like the Ricketts hunger was satisfied, but ours wasn't. Our hunger is every damn day. So Mike Tauchman, good luck in the Queens. Go play with Lindor and Soto. Over here, we'll be watching Dylan Carlson try to remember how to hit a fastball while Jed Hoyer explains, with fancy terms and big words, why saving a few million was the correct move for the future of the organization. Win. Now. That's all we ask. But it feels like for this front office, now is always next year.